I heard this before, but then someone just said it again that men are the prize. I don't know if this is something Kevin Samuels said, but there is a red flag that pops up if somebody is saying this about themselves. I have had to learn the benefit of humility throughout my life. I was this kind of woman before I came to God where I thought, hey, I'm the prize, I'm worth it, I'm so high and mighty, like every man should desire me, that kind of thing. And really, what it was a narcissistic spirit and self aggrandization because people kind of teeter when they're not very secure in themselves between uh, really like self inflicting as well as self aggrandization. Um, it's almost like you use the I'm a prize, I'm better than everyone else, I'm deserving of the best of everything to kind of mask the insecurity and the self inflicting behavior that you have. So, this isn't to go against men, but if you're a man that's calling yourself a prize, I want to let you know that you're not a prize. For the simple fact is, you're just a human. You need to learn humility. If you learn humility, you're going to feel so much better about yourself. You're not going to need to go around and exalt yourself. You'll understand that you came in this world and you're leaving this world. From the dust you came from to the dust you will go. Do not put yourself on a higher pedestal than what you actually are, because God could take you out in a minute. So, men that I consider prizes aren't prizes just because they're men. And the same thing with women, you know. And I have heard in the manosphere, you know, men like Kevin Samuels, he'll get on these chats with these women, and these women will say something very similar. Oh, I'm a prize, and you should, you know, try to win me over. And he'd be like, you shouldn't think more highly of yourself than what you. I'm like, you're telling them not to think highly of themselves, yet you're over here saying basically the same thing. Um, I think it's better just to act like a prize for your words to reflect that you're a prize, your behavior. Have people think that you are a prize just because who you are, not because of your sex, how you were born, or whatever, or even because of the money that you have and that kind of thing. Basing it on materialistic and vain things is just it's an accident waiting to happen. This man, he was American, but his heritage was South Korean, and he said he came from a long line of warriors. And I decided it was New Year's night, and he was the first one I saw in the club, so I wanted my New Year's kiss to come from him. And so we kissed, and we spent like 3 days together, just hanging out, and like we didn't do anything. We just hung out and we talked and like we cuddled and that kind of thing, and that was literally it. And this was well before I became a Christian. So please do not go out and do these things. First off, it's not safe. But this man was still pursuing me even after the fact. I mean, he would bring me flowers. Like, he wanted to spend time together. And I don't suggest you do this, but he stole the Loretta Avenue sign off the street for Valentine's Day one day for me. I kept that sign. I still have that sign to this day. But yeah, so it's like this man was showing that he was a prize, that he was a keeper. I mean, to just think that you are someone that is a prize just because you have male genitalia, it's just not a good idea. It's not how you want to present yourself. Because somebody who has self worth or is a traditional woman, which a lot of these men, they want these traditional women because they're now seeing the value in that. They're usually not going to be attracted to that because vanity and ego are not sustainable. You know, at some point it's going to break down, and many times when people are very self-focused or self-aggrandizing, they usually lend themselves to narcissistic traits, and so it's going to be all about them, and therefore the relationship is going to fail. If you have any kind of discernment, you're going to pick this up in people, and you're not going to want to have anything to do with them. Nobody wants to be in a one-way relationship. So it's not that you don't believe that you're not a person of worth, because you are, but to go around saying your prize, that's taking it too far. Like, you need to humble yourself at that point. I actually pulled up to this area because the father told me to go, and there was like this clock, and it looked like a moon. And I was kind of interested in learning about the moon at that time, and so I think that's how the father lured me in. But he told me to look over to the right, and I see a crematory, and then I hear the words, from dust you came from, to dust you will go. And I was like, my whole mouth dropped open because I'm like, wow, I have been putting myself on the pedestal. I'm literally just a human. I'm like a speck. There's a song that's called Dust in the Wind. All we are dust in the wind. When you have that mentality, knowing who you really are, which we have personality traits and we have value and all this kind of stuff, but when you know that you're literally just a speck, a blot in time, You have no reason to exalt yourself at all. You came and you're gonna go. So I think people should keep that in mind, and maybe they will consider others, you know, more than what they do, and maybe they won't speak so disrespectfully to them, you know. And when you gain that attitude of humility, you're going to attract much better women. So you guys be blessed and have a good one. Bye.